The hall of the Solarian Council shimmered with pale blue light as the human envoy stepped forward. His name was Leon, a young diplomat whose calm voice and steady eyes made even the most seasoned council members pause. The chamber itself was vast, suspended above a city woven from silver arches and floating walkways. This was the heart of the Solarian Empire, a place few humans had ever been allowed to enter. Leon understood the weight of every step he took. He had been chosen not for his rank, but for his reputation, as a negotiator who carried no desire for conquest. His presence here was meant to ease the rising tension between Earth and the Solarian Empire after a series of border incidents that nearly sparked open conflict. But the council was divided. Some wanted peace. Others claimed humans were too bold and too unpredictable. Among the council sat Princess Lyria, the daughter of the Emperor. Her long hair glowed faintly like threads of moonlight, and her silver eyes could unsettle even the strongest warrior. She was young, sharp-minded, proud, and known across her empire for questioning anything that seemed rooted in fear. She had insisted on attending the meeting, despite her advisors warning her that humans could not be trusted. As Leon reached the center of the hall, the council chamber sealed itself with a soft hum. A low murmur ran through the room. Lyria leaned forward slightly, studying the human who dared walk alone into a chamber filled with the most influential figures of an interstellar empire. Leon bowed once, respectfully but without fear. He said that Earth sought peace. He said that the incidents along the border were misunderstandings caused by reckless groups acting without authorization. He said humanity wished for cooperation rather than rivalry. His voice remained steady in the quiet hall, and the simplicity of his words held more strength than many realized. For a moment, the council listened. Then a general rose from his seat. His armor shimmered like forged starlight. He declared that humans were deceptive and aggressive. He said they expanded without caution. He accused Leon of standing here as a tool to cover Earth's hidden ambitions. His tone carried more accusation than truth. Leon remained composed. He answered clearly that Earth had no intention of invading any Solarian territory. He stated that humanity had only recently gained the ability to travel these distances and wished to explore without conflict. He spoke respectfully but firmly, refusing to be rattled by hostility. Lyria watched silently, her eyes narrowing with curiosity. She had expected fear or arrogance from him. Instead, she saw resolve. Something about his calm expression unsettled her more than anger would have. Another counselor questioned him. Another accused him. A third demanded proof of Earth's peaceful intent. Yet Leon answered each challenge without losing his balance. He showed no sign of collapsing under pressure. He never raised his voice. He never backed away. The council slowly grew divided. Some leaned closer, impressed by his clarity. Others clung to suspicion. Lyria felt something shift inside her. She sensed no deception in him. She sensed a sincerity rare among many who stood before her people. She found herself wanting to see how far this human would go to uphold his words. The turning point came when an alarm suddenly echoed through the hall. The guards reacted immediately. A violent tremor ran through the floor. The council members froze. A hostile faction within the Empire had planted an explosive device to sabotage the peace summit. They believed war with Earth was inevitable and sought to ensure the council chose conflict. The blast had ruptured a chamber deep beneath the hall. The structure was destabilizing. The council began evacuating. Guards rushed toward the exits. Lyria rose from her seat when another tremor shook the hall. A massive crack tore through one of the supporting pillars above her. Dust rained down. A large shard of crystalline metal broke free and plunged toward the princess. Leon did not hesitate. He lunged forward, threw himself at her, and pulled her out of the path of the collapsing structure. They hit the floor hard. The heavy shard crashed where she had stood a second earlier. For a moment she stared at him, stunned. No Solarian guard had moved as quickly as he had. His breath was unsteady, but his eyes were focused only on whether she was safe. Before anyone could speak, another tremor rolled through the hall. Part of the walkway leading to the main exit collapsed, leaving several council members stranded. Fire burst from a ruptured energy conduit. Smoke filled the chamber. Leon pushed himself to his feet. Lyria rose with him. He glanced at the broken walkway and the trapped council members. He saw the panic rising, the confusion overtaking reason. He made a choice. He climbed across the unstable beam that hung over the lower levels of the hall. The heat from the burning conduit forced him to shield his face. Yet he kept moving. Lyria watched, her heart beating faster than she expected. She had seen warriors leap into danger, but there was something different about a diplomat doing the same with no armor, no weapon, and no obligation. Leon reached the trapped council members. He helped them one by one, guiding them across the beam, staying behind each time until the last crossed safely. He moved not with recklessness, but with determination. The walkway shook violently as another section collapsed. He pushed the final counselor to safety just before the beam gave way beneath him. He gripped the hanging cable, swinging toward a remaining platform. His shoulder slammed against the metal surface. He winced but continued on. Lyria gasped despite herself. She felt anger at the sabotage, relief that he survived, and something else she could not name. When Leon returned to the princess's side, several guards were there, but none had managed to act as quickly as he had. Lyria stepped closer to him, her voice soft but steady. She said that he had saved her life. Leon said that he only did what anyone should do. She found herself unable to respond. As the surviving council gathered outside the damaged chamber. Engineers stabilized the structure. The saboteurs were apprehended. The threat had passed. Yet the memory of what had happened remained vivid. When the council reconvened the next day, the mood had shifted. Suspicion no longer dominated the chamber. Respect now lingered in the air. The general who had accused humans of false intentions now spoke more cautiously. The counselors who had doubted Leon's sincerity now seemed uncertain of their earlier stance. Princess Lyria stepped forward. Her voice carried weight, not just because of her title, but because she rarely spoke during council sessions. She declared that the human diplomat had shown honor and bravery without any guarantee of survival. She said that his actions proved that humanity sought more than tension. She stated that she believed peace with Earth was not only possible but wise. Her words stunned the council. A princess of the empire rarely spoke with such direct praise for someone outside their world. Her admiration was unmistakable. Some counselors glanced at her with surprise. Others nodded, persuaded by her conviction. Leon listened quietly. He did not interrupt. He did not draw attention to himself. His composure impressed her again. Eventually, the council reached a decision. The Solarian Empire would begin formal cooperation with Earth. Trade routes would open. Scientific exchange programs would be created. Patrols along the border would be unified to prevent misunderstandings. The threat of war faded. When the meeting ended, Lyria sought Leon in the grand hall outside the chamber. The hall's towering windows displayed the vast silver city. Floating skystones drifted above the streets, carrying passengers from one district to another. She approached him slowly. He turned when he sensed her presence. She thanked him again. But this time her voice held emotion she rarely revealed. She told him that his actions would be remembered. She told him the Empire now saw humanity differently because of him. Leon bowed slightly. He said he only wanted peace. Lyria studied him with a seriousness that made him straighten his posture. She told him that bravery without arrogance was rare. She told him that she admired the way he stood alone in a hall full of doubt. She admitted that she misjudged humans before meeting him. Her honesty surprised him. He thanked her, and his calm expression softened for a moment. Days passed. Leon remained on the Solarian world as both sides began drafting new agreements. During this time, Lyria visited him often. At first, she claimed she only wished to discuss diplomatic matters. Soon she stopped pretending. She sought him because she wanted to learn more about him. She wanted to understand what shaped a human into someone who risked everything for others. They walked through the floating gardens of the palace. They spoke about their worlds, their fears, their hopes. Lyria found herself smiling more than she expected. Leon found himself more at ease than he had been since arriving in the Empire. One afternoon, as they stood on a balcony overlooking the glowing city, Lyria confessed she had once believed humans were too unpredictable to be trusted. She said that seeing his courage changed her perspective. She said he had shown her that new alliances could be built not from power, but from sincerity. Leon listened and gently told her that he believed her people had more wisdom than most realized. He said he felt honored to be part of this new chapter between their worlds. Lyria's expression softened. For the first time, Leon saw something vulnerable in her eyes. She stepped closer and said that she admired him, not only as a diplomat, but as a person. She said that his bravery had left an impression she could not ignore. Leon felt th.